Hello, and welcome to our 5th podcast. I'm so glad that we're all together, and I'm glad that you can join us.
So today we're going to be talking about reasons for hope, which feels really salient in this moment. So I'm looking forward to it.
So one might consider the following question. What does hope look like? What does hope mean to you? The floor is open.
Yeah, it's like a loaded question. I think I've been thinking about it a lot because I've been like waves moving in and out of it, depending on the day and what's going on in the world. But when I really think about it for me, I think about the iceberg and the lower levels of relational health, and that trust comes in, being able to have the trust, being able to have faith, my own state of mind, but really what I'm putting into existence and that desire. So it all is encompassing of what that looks like for me to put into existence and trust that things will get better.
And in all transparency, I think I've been struggling with hope lately. So this is why I was looking forward to this conversation so much. It's been a struggle. And I think that I resonate with what you're saying, Michelle, about it ebbing and flowing. There's just there's moments where it feels stronger and just feels like longer moments lately where it feels less strong for me. But I'm realizing that this kind of idea of chaos as a part of change is something that's very hopeful for me, and it's also uncomfortable. And so I think that's what I think of hope as something comforting. But as I'm leaning into hope right now, it's a lot about just change taking place, change happening all around us kind of very constantly, and that there's this chaos around that, but that there's hope in that. Like there's hope in that things can change and become different. And, and we've seen that in our own lives and we've experienced it. And so I think that's the piece that I'm leaning into more, is the discomfort. Usually it seems to be my norm now. Set point is leaning into discomfort, and that there's hope in that, in some odd way for me.
And for me, hope looks like a cord that I'm holding on to. And almost there's some thin pieces as I hold on to the cord, but it is holding on to a cord of hope that changes.
There's definitely, think of sometimes I would think of in the past of hope as passive, but as you say that, Kathy, I think of like how it's an action. Like it takes action to like hold on to hope, to, go through the discomfort, to like navigate the chaos of change, to go through the ebbs and flows
As you were saying that, I was thinking about in that continuum of the concept of hope, I was thinking about there are some feelings of desperation sometimes that I feel. Also acknowledging that desperation, but also keeping my hand on the cord of hope is so important.
Yeah, that both end, right? Like I think so many times it's like either you're hopeful or you're in desperation, but we can do both. Yeah. We are holding both most of the time.
It reminds me of like pain and joy coexist at the same time, but so can despair and hope.
I know one of the things that I reflect on often is the transgenerational nature of healing. Like we've talked about trauma a lot, and one of the things I like about this session in particular is getting to talk about hope in different ways. But that idea of transgenerational healing and how it shows up differently for each of us, I think of it in context of my family legacy, really, and thinking of how my parents did their part in healing what they could from their histories. They were both recovering alcoholics. And so to be able to make those shifts, then I can take that farther and able to learn through Lakeside, really different parenting strategies. And I can do something different with my kids than was done with me. And then my hope then is that they continue that, they continue the healing and they continue the change within our family legacy, whatever that looks like for their generation.
And when I consider it, as you were talking about family legacies and transgenerational hope, with so much information available now and so many things because of DNA, ancestry, and all those other things, so many things are being dug up now. I'm aware of so many things from hundreds of years ago, and looking at that, and so in some ways it's awesome. This transgenerational hope piece puts on the table things that were hidden, which enables us to understand what is going on and the meaning of hope. And so in that, I just hope, and I'm going to say pray, that what we are aware of now, the history and my family history, now that it has come to the surface, it is my hope that it gets passed forward and that it is not lost to my grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Yeah. Just thinking about history and understanding what has happened to you and what's going on, I think can give us hope. I know for me, knowing the trauma that has happened and understanding that I am here because of what my ancestors have done, because of my ancestors' resiliency of that. And so I know when I've had hard times, and I literally have called out and said, I need you, my ancestors. And I know that they are within me. And that is what I bring to the table. Like, that's the hope of saying, I have figured out ability. And I do say that as like one word, figure it out ability, because my ancestors figured it out. And that gives me the strength. And that's how I know resiliency is made. And then from me can be passed down for generations, right, to the future. I can pass it down to my kids, that strength, and also just understanding what has happened to me. So I think through that, there's my hope for all of us in this. And if we can do this together, then I'm like, oh, please, like, it will just get better and better. So that's how I keep going, even through those ebb and flows. And again, thank you, SaraLiz, because it is chaotic. It is chaos on most days. But there is that faith and the trust, right, and my whole state of mind about what I'm putting into existence. I think, too, the classes that we're doing, right, the workshops, the classes, us coming together, us participating here at Lakeside gives me hope, because we're able to really talk about this and understand it and have some of the same values. So that is really important as well. So
Yeah, we talk a lot about trauma. We do a lot around learning, understanding, and healing from trauma, I think, in our courses. But we started off in parenting, right? And like that realm, and that's one of the pieces that I learned that was able to shift things. But I think of, how that information is coming back and more salient than ever, how we can shift large dynamics through the information coming through these courses.
I think it's such an honor as we are coming together for the classes and the workshop that we're able to pass it forward. Mm-hmm. And there lies the hope. Mm-hmm. No matter who you are, no matter your education, no matter what it is open to all. Mm-hmm. And so there lies the hope. It encourages me to keep going on.
yeah. On that note, I think it would be really nice to do a regulation activity. For me, I really thought about this in terms of like, what does it mean to like get our body and minds together in terms of hope? And so I was doing a lot, because I'll be honest, in this day, I've been thinking about hope even more so with what's going on in the world and what I can intentionally do. So this was adapted from, it's called Wellness on the Farm, and it's a short meditation on hope. So I hope you all will join me in this. So please, if you can get in a comfortable position and just if you have your gaze in front of you, and just do what you need to feel comfortable, I hope and encourage everyone to do this. It is about a minute long, but I am incorporating hope into this short regulation activity. So, hope can feel all encompassing, and it could also be the only thing we may feel we have. And so we can find it and then we lose it all in the space of a moment, again and again. We can see hope in a smile. We can see a message on a t-shirt. We can see it in community. And we can find it in the depths of our heart where we thought it didn't exist. So I'm going to ask everyone, how do we find hope when we feel it is all lost? And the one thing I thought to myself that we can all do is we can breathe. So I'm going to ask us just to take in a comfortable breath into our lungs. And as we're taking that comfortable breath and inhaling and allowing our belly and chest to expand, to just breathe in. And as we exhale, I want us to gently let go of all the things that are no longer ours to carry, that no longer serve us. And I want us to repeat. So inhale and exhale comfortably. And to repeat. And to repeat. That inhale and exhale. And to create space, as if filling our halls and our corridors with love and hope. And for us to invite hope in. And to repeat that inhale and comfortable exhale into our lungs, allowing our belly and chest to expand and inviting hope in. And as we keep expanding our breath to allow hope in, I'm also going to invite us to be patient with ourselves, to be compassionate to ourselves and others, and also our message from the beginning, to be kind. So I want to thank everyone for participating in that regulation activity.
Thank you, Michelle. And as we were listening to those words and those instructions, we are reminded that receiving this information also requires a call to action. So as you consider your call to action, keep hope in your mind sight. Know what hope looks like for you and pass it forward.